And welcome into the semi-finals of the BARFOOT and THOMPSON Auckland Open at the North Shore Squash Club. Dave Worsley here, joining me as Joel Ascott. And Joel, already into the semi-final match between the top seed and the fifth seed. That is Henry LEUNG from Hong Kong. He is the top seed. And we have Darren PRAGASAM from Malaysia, who is the fifth seed. So into this match already. And what are we going to see here, Joel? We're going to see some interesting squash between these two players, or are they very similar?
It's an interesting one. I think Darren's quite aggressive as a player. You know, he's an up-and-coming young guy. He's pretty fiery, good racket head speed, takes the ball nice and early. Henry, haven't seen as much of Henry, but very methodical player, smart, a bit more experience. You know, great touch at the front of the court. I think it actually be quite a decent contrast in styles.
All right, and LEUNG there, he's currently ranked 87 in the world, has been as high as 70, whereas PRAGASAM is currently 139, has been ranked as high as 133, so fairly close to their highest rankings. For you, Joel, been a busy tournament, a lot of people seem to be around in different grades as well. It's been good for that.
Yeah, it's got a good buzz going on. It's good to see that squash is still being well supported in Auckland, and lots of people from lots of different clubs, lots of different levels. I think 7 or 8 divisions, so it's a good turnout,
And later on this afternoon, we'll also see New Zealand at number 3, Evan Williams, who is the second seed for this tournament. He will take on another Hong Kong player, that is Tang Ming Hong, who is ranked 109 in the world. Evan Williams currently 89, so good to see a Kiwi through to the semi-finals of this tournament as well. And as we just said, they're getting to the early stages of this semi-final so far. And other matches on other courts as well. Early stages, Joel, it's just really how the players, they know each other, I'm sure, or at least seen each other play. It's just really feeling each other's game, just working out
finding
conditions.
a length of the court, getting a feel for each other. I mean, I don't think Henry will be too sore, too tired, and Darren having a tough 5-setter yesterday with Chi Him Wong of Hong Kong. Big match there, closing out 12-10 in the fifth. Henry, on the other hand, threw in straight games. So I think Henry will want to see how Darren's legs have recovered, and Darren also wanting to show, he's not afraid, or set the stall out early.
All right, and Elijah Thomas took on Henry in the quarterfinals yesterday. Gave him a bit of a battle in the first set anyway.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a battle, and then got injured himself to a certain extent. I think it's probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah, he's a tenacious young bloke. Elijah, he's not going to give in, and comes up with a few scars because of that, but good battle, good showing.
All right, well, point score so far 5-2, and that is the top seed, LEUNG, leading by 5-2. And as you said, Joel, just a little bit more to his game at the moment, and to just staying in somehow. At this point, being controlled by Darren there, Malaysian.
You just see Darren loves to hunt that ball around the middle, especially on his front forehand, whipping it in quite fast. Quite hard to play against.
And interesting that he is wearing a New Zealand shirt. We're not totally sure why he hasn't said he's going to play for this country yet. Long rally, this one.
Couple cross-court drops coming in.
I don't know how that stayed in, just at the top of the glass at the back of the court.
Good physical rally, this one.
Someone's going to feel tired after it if they lose it. Mentally tired. Notice the speeding up and then the slowing down of the rally as well.
Both players trying to control the pace of the rally. using the front wall as best they can.
Oh.
Bit unlucky finding the side wall, front wall join, but
I think the thing is, after a point like that, you're going to be, if you lose that sort of point, you're going to be so frustrated with yourself after such a long rally, such a lot of movement as well. What are you looking at for that one?
I mean, he went left, the ball went right, that's all I'm going to say. So it's a bit of a stretch to ask for a lead on that one. Now, LEUNG or Henry was just off to a 5-1 lead. Back to 6-4 now, so a bit of a momentum shift.
I wouldn't say that Darren PRAGASAM has actually played more aggressively in the last few points. It's just that he's managed to get the errors.
Yeah.
Had it then. You really have to say on something like that, you come away expecting to win that point.
Yeah. It's one of those ones, you know, you put a lot of pressure on yourself and it seems so simple just to put it there at the end of the day, but
almost too many
options. We all know it's a bit more difficult than that. I feel could have played that one.
Yeah, it looked as though he could have played. I don't think he was going to go forward and actually hit the...
It's good from Ben Carson, our national referee here. But just setting that stall out early that you want the players to play the ball. No one wants to get stuck into a let fest, as we like to say. So, yeah, it's good to see. Better for the fans as well. Just cutting at that one or slapping at it.
Is he trying for too much on that sort of shot, or is it just
like definitely? You know, as I said before, he hops across quite strong in that forehand, but just forcing it a touch there. Maybe feeling that scoreboard pressure a little bit. 8-4.
Very casual on that shot.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It's a nice thing.
So there we go, a 9-4 for the top seed at the moment. Henry LEUNG, current ranking of 87, has been as high as 70, and he does have 4 challenger titles to his credit. That was a much better shot, taken on the full, being aggressive with it. But yeah, 4 challenger titles to his credit. He has had 7 finals, and again, there's that. It's hit or miss there on those forehands, isn't it?
Definitely.
He's made a couple of errors right into the 10, and then also basically a winning shot as well. So at least we're seeing a lot of attacking play, but it is game ball. 10-5 to Hong Kong's Henry LEUNG.
Once those start going up, though, it can be an absolute nightmare to play against. But just forcing it on that one.
So there we go, 11-5. First game to the top seed. And back into the second game of this, the first semi-final of the BARFOOT and THOMPSON Auckland Open. Joel, how would you summarise that first game? Because it was a little bit erratic there from our Malaysian fifth seed.
It was a little bit, sporadic at times. Both players sort of using angles a bit more than what I would expect. But, you know, maybe a reflection of the matches they have had previously or how they're feeling. So I think the second game will be interesting. I think Darren will want to, try and be a bit more assertive and, find those corners.
Well, you can see from
not happy
LEUNG
with that let call there.
Yeah, you can see from LEUNG he's happy to be consistent, whereas PRAGASAM, he's tried a few more attacking shots. Some of them didn't necessarily come off as well as he would have liked.
Yeah. I think that can be a confidence thing as well. Definitely when you play a high-ranked player, you feel like you have to force things, which is not necessarily the case, but Henry being pretty professional right now, just hitting his targets and putting the ball where he needs to go.
That one,
Yeah, it's a pretty reliable shot for him though. He's got a nice technique on that backhand, not much backswing, and just pushes the ball to the front, staying very short.
Oh, that's a good shot though. One of those forehands that did come off, using the angle to go cross court and low as well.
I think if I was Darren right now, I'd be wanting to try and make this a bit more physical and extend these rallies a little bit, get the body going a little bit more.
It's perhaps a concern that PRAGASAM is every now and then he gets to about the 10th shot in the rally and he just wants to go for it and finish it off.
Yeah, and certainly as his opponent, it's a good feeling, and you pick up on those. You know, these guys are full-time pros. They, especially Henry, they're slightly more experienced and high-ranked player. They pick up on these things, and you know, you give them an inch and they'll take it. You know, no questions asked.
And just remembering that Evan Williams, the New Zealand number 3, will be on court not too far away this afternoon as well. He's up against the 4th seed Tang from Hong Kong, who's ranked 109 in the world. So it should be a good battle there as well.
And that's better from Darren. Yeah, building the points a bit more and then looking for the straight kill in the middle.
Well, 4-3. LEUNG has the lead. The Hong Kong player against the Malaysian, who is wearing now the Malaysia shirt. He was wearing the New Zealand shirt.
Maybe a mistake. We're not sure, but
after that first game loss, maybe he decided he better play for Malaysia, not New Zealand. Oh, nice touch. Oh, some good touch there by both players.
Staying very short those balls.
Using all of the court. Looks as though we're into another one of those long rallies, both players using the full width of the court. And a little bit of height now as well, slowing it down again.
Yeah, as we see, slowing it down a bit more on the backhand, but both players just jousting for that opportunity. Heavy movements there on that back of the service box.
What we're seeing also in this rally is that LEUNG doesn't appear to have to be moving too much, whereas you see Darren there, he's certainly sweating up a storm, and moving a lot more.
I find all these Hong Kong players very efficient movers and great at moving the ball around, using the angles smart. They never look like they're too stressed, you know. You take it for granted when you're watching it now, but, you know, as we know, it's not that easy.
I guess, like a lot of the Egyptians that we've just seen in the Windy City Open as well. The guys, they just never really seem to be too stressed about moving, and it just seems to be efficient movement. So still early stages of this, the second game. Of course, it was the top seed, Henry LEUNG, taking the first 11-5, and now got a 5-3 lead in the second as well. What do you call on that?
Front wall. Go to the front wall. Strike. Front wall. No, it wasn't dangerous. It wasn't dangerous.
So what do you think about that, Joel? You agree with that decision?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. We see, I mean, the old way of those ones is the simple let, as we've seen in the past, but referees sort of changed it recently. opting for strokes, and I think it's a fair point because if your width is that wide and it's bouncing back, around by the door, and you're not clearing on the tee, it's a fair call. And just clipping him there, and I don't see any harm in that call whatsoever. Henry not really moving, and ultimately paying the price.
Oh, that's good touch. Still in the rally though. Oh,
great retrieving.
Recovery. Right into that forehand corner. PRAGASAM really having to struggle on that one. Managed to do a couple of great recovery shots, but it really was LEUNG controlling that rally.
Oh, great shot. Just touching the front wall there.
And it was LEUNG was right up there, but the angle that PRAGASAM managed was fantastic.
And that's what we like to see. He opted to play the ball there and ultimately winning the point.
And up 9-5 as well, LEUNG.
Running away with it a bit here. As we see the negative body language in the...
It was a tired error, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then he comes back with that.
It's quick fire stuff.
Be quite hard to coach someone who can look tired one point and then hit a great serve for the next one. Yeah. Great shot the next one. And then... So there we go. We have not overly pleased with that one. Now into the start of the third game. This is the first semi-final of BARFOOT and THOMPSON Auckland Open. The men's singles here, we have the top seed, Henry LEUNG from Hong Kong and Darren PRAGASAM from Malaysia. Both relatively close to their top rankings of their career. LEUNG is currently 87, has been as high as 70, and PRAGASAM is 139, has been as high as 133. And Joel Ascott, the second game was, again, just one of those things where LEUNG controlled the set, knew what he was doing. There was some winners and some unforced errors from his opponent, wasn't there?
Yeah, it's quite open play. It's not hugely physical. It's dynamic squash. They're using the corners. They're running side court sprints, what you name it. Only at the 20-minute mark and 11-5, 11-6. So it's an interesting one. I think
you've got to say that the top seed there should be drawing through this one as well.
He's not panicking. He wants to close this out. If he can, he's not going to complain.
You
he's
look
going
at the body language.
Yeah, he looks rather professional. Darren just questioning that call, but definitely thinking it was out in that top left.
Now, tell me, Joel, the temperature outside is probably around about 24 degrees or something like that, and it is quite warm inside. I'm thinking about running shot there.
Yeah, certainly.
On the court, what's it going to be like?
Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of air getting around, that's for sure. Rather stuffy, but that affecting the ball as well, not just the players. So, it's bouncing, it's pinging, but with the 17-inch 10 as well, it's staying nice and short. Certainly can feel pretty tough on there when there's no real airflow.
So already with the 3-1 lead in this, the third game. And even when he questioned there, it was a question, but it wasn't aggressive, but it was a statement. It's a question and a statement.
Yep. Darren is rather prone, if you will, to get involved with the refs a little bit. But Henry, just hesitating there after complaining. I think he really wanted to get on with the business.
And then he makes the mistake there, which is unusual. He hasn't made too many mistakes like that.
And that's 2 sidewall nets in a row. Perfect width, some say just luck.
Would you think that someone like Darren just needs to slow down a little bit? He seems to be just trying to rush himself, which is, I wouldn't suggest that's the way to actually beat LEUNG.
No, definitely forcing, and I think when you are playing a high-ranked player, you want to dig into them and put the pressure back on them, and show that you're going to be tough to beat. But I think he's hit some great shots, but just forcing it a little touch. There we see again on that forehand, loving the straight kill and great racket head speed when it does work. He has made a few errors off that shot. Henry not panicking though when Darren's upping the pace, just staying in the rally, trying to hit his targets.
Yeah, this rally certainly up the tempo. Both players again moving each other around. But still, Henry appears to be controlling. He's in the middle of the court. What do you think?
I think that's a good call. Henry holding his shot a little bit, and you could see Darren, almost going the other way, and then trying to recoup and asking for the desperate let. So,
yeah, if you can hold that shot, it gives, I guess, the indecision for the other player, thinking which way I've got to go.
Yeah. And he, hiding the shot well as well. With that short swing, you can't really see the ball in front of the body. You won't be happy with that one though.
So a few more mistakes creeping into Henry's game in this, the third, but he's got the two-love lead, and it's 5-all. It's not like he's really down in the, not on points anyway. And I don't think if he'd be down mentally, he'd be possibly annoyed at himself by giving away 5 points.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those scenarios, you want to stick to the game plan. You've got the 2-love lead, you've got no scoreboard pressure. Just sticking to the game plan and seeing this match out as professionally as you can.
And for you in particular, Joel, this is the third tournament out of 5.
Yep.
What's been the best for you? What have you actually learned out of it? Have you sort of think, well, I should have won this, I should have won that? Or
yeah, it was definitely pretty disappointing first 2 tournaments for me. A few niggles in my legs and stuff, but a bit more of a better showing for me in this tournament, and just trying to dig away at these top guys. A good strong tournament this with there was actually a tournament on in China that was cancelled due to the coronavirus, and all these Hong Kong players just entering it at the last moment. So really spicing the draw up at the last minute. So but no, it's good. I've enjoyed it. I had a crack at Evan myself. Not going to plan, but it's good to see these guys in Auckland, and it's great for us young guys in New Zealand to see them and compete against them.
And having someone like Domino, he was just waiting. He was sitting there saying, which way should I hit it? Yeah. And I doubt there was any way that Darren could really chase that one down. Having someone like Henry LEUNG, who was a beaten finalist to Evan Williams at the tournament in Southland last year, the Challenger tournament there.
Evan's first 10k win,
Yeah, that's right. So he's a good player. And if he does continue this way and make it through to the final, hopefully he can play against New Zealand's Evan Williams in that final as well, and that'll certainly make it very competitive.
Yeah, so it's certainly good, these guys making finals of 10Ks and just seeing them playing, in the semis or possibly the final of the 6K. It just shows there's a good bit of depth, coming across to Auckland for this tournament, and good to see.
I mean, this is a tournament of this size is great for people like yourself.
Yeah, massively.
Tim, also Elijah, all of you players.
Yeah.
Would a 10k benefit you? Well, there's only so many places that you're going to get in.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the tour is getting a lot stronger. There's over 700 guys roughly on tour, so it's a lot more competitive for those ranking points. But it is good to just have points on offer in general. We are lucky with this BARFOOT and THOMPSON series. So it's good to see these guys actually supporting that, and obviously the more tournaments, the more points. So we're all for it.
We're up to a game and a match point there as well for the top seed Henry LEUNG. And and winning the first two. Fairly comfortable. Looks as though they're being 5s all the way.
Just coming up to the half an hour mark, so Henry be pretty happy with this one. 5 match balls under the half hour.
Just slowed it down completely. Waiting for the mistake, and gee, that looks so relaxed.
Great shot.
Yeah, there we go. Just completely relaxed at the front of the court there and moving his opponent around. So a straight game win there for Henry LEUNG over Darren PRAGASAM of Malaysia. And there we go. That is our first finalist there. He is the top seed as well.